Alright, so today we are going to clean up these corners. Just make sure this area and that side are good, so we can, and then we'll wipe this down too. And then we're gonna bring this big piece that covers the gas tank, and we're gonna come put that in, and we'll start getting our hatches put in back here. We do have all of them carpeted. I think I do have, actually I have two more I have left to do, so I'll put some footage of me recarpeting those two hatches. But the rest of them are done, and we'll put those on, and yeah, we're just waiting on the gator step to get here to finish the cockpit area. But that's about it. I think this, after we're done with this boat, it's gonna be going somewhere else for somebody else to do some more work on it, so we won't see it again, I don't think. But let's get started. Alright everybody, today we are plotting out some canvas. We got all of our material rolled out. We need 28 feet, so we're gonna hit plot now. We got all of our pieces on here. Oh, it says something is slightly overlapping. Okay, so just move this. Okay. So we're kind of at a standstill on the Triton right now. I have almost all of the carpet done. I'm just waiting on some more of the 3M spray glue we use to get here. So I have this hatch done. I just haven't put it on yet. And then I just have to finish these two hatches. So when the glue gets here, I will run through how I do those, and then I'll install them. And we're also waiting on the gator step. So that's the one product we don't make in-house. We just take a pattern and we send our file off to gator step, and we're at the mercy of them. So usually this time of the year, they're not too busy, so I would have expected it by now, but it is not here. So we're just staying busy. Gonna run this next enclosure. I'm the only person here for the rest of the week. Sue, our sewer, she comes back next week. So when she comes back, we'll proceed more on all this stuff. Okay, so one disadvantage we have with using this Pro Scale plotter machine is that we have to put our own marking device in it. Actually, this is probably the pen we use most of the time for most materials, canvas materials, I should say. But as you can see, the marker is already starting to fade out. So the one disadvantage we have is that every so often you have to stop it and restart again. So we like to have two markers ready. That one's running at one time, and then this one, kind of get the tip nice and soaked with the paint. Kind of prime it, I guess, if you will. And then we'll go back over here and we'll grab the thing that holds the pen. And we'll swap them out. And this line, I already know Sue is going to be like, I can't see the line, Todd. So I'm going to just bring it back and redraw that line. Okay, and now I will take and reprime the tip on this one. And then this one will be ready for when that one goes out. And we do go through a lot of these markers, but I know even the shops that have cutting tables instead of just plotters, depending on if it's a rotary cutting or laser cutting, I know rotary blades, they have to be replaced every so often as well. So it's just our marker that has to be replaced. It's not like it's anything super crazy. That just means that someone has to be here, at least keeping an eye on the machine, making sure that it's visible enough for us to cut this out when it's done. So. All right, well, we're just plotting the last of this enclosure out. After this is done, we're gonna call it a day. And I'm hoping tomorrow the glue will be here so we can finish the carpet on the Triton. So we will see you guys tomorrow, and thank you for watching. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody had a fun, safe New Year's. Today, we are going to be cutting out the rest of these windows and putting this enclosure together. So last week, before we closed up for the weekend, we rolled out this glass just so it could kind of breathe a little bit and flatten out. All of our glass is stored on rolls, so it has a lot of shape when it comes right off the roll. This is our 30 gauge glass. It's what comes standard on our enclosures. And this is the front job for this job. This is our 60 gauge Macrolon. It's a polycarbonate glass. This is obviously an upcharge. It's a lot nicer glass. And this typically people will get on their front drop, and then the side drops, they'll go with just the regular roll glass, or it'll be a small upgrade to, here's our 40 gauge strata glass. Now, all of these glasses do come in different shades if you want it tinted, or typically it's just clear. So what we have in stock is always a clear, unless the customer states otherwise. So let's get these windows cut out and then we'll start putting it together. And we'll go through a little bit of why we do certain things. Won't give too many of the secrets away, but we'll let you guys in on a few. Okay, so this morning we're gonna start putting these windows together. We have all of them cut out, have all of our strips ready that are going to create our window. I have the first window ready over there, but just wanna explain a little bit on what I'm doing. This is the inside of the window. We mark everything on the inside. So obviously this line here isn't going to be on the outside too. So one thing we do is we start on the outside and we just peel this paper back a little bit until you can see that line, so that when we cover it up and we lay our strip here along this line, we're not getting rid of it. And then when we flip it over and put our canvas pieces on the other side, then we will just line it up with that material line there. If we were to start out here and we just cut this off, this line would not be existing. It wouldn't be as efficient. So here we have some of our strips. These are for this window. So you can see before they get taped and folded over to create this finished edge, they look like this. So this is the side we would put our tape, and we would fold it over up to this line here for our seam allowance, and then we'll start putting them together. So after we get the one side of strips on and we start this other side, I'll show you the material we put in between the bottom strips to give it an extra strength for the fasteners that are going to snap it down to the boat.
$15.
That ain't bad.
Ooh, Greenville, Wisconsin.
I don't even know where that's at.
I don't either. Same person. Oh, it's Babs.
Okay, so everybody in this industry does stuff a little bit different, but this is what our window looks like before it gets sewn. These marks are important for us to get our zippers on here in the end. And I relabeled the inside of this window. So now I'll bring it upstairs for Sue to sew. Okay, so this is how the windows look after Sue sews them and binds the edges. Next, she is getting it ready to put the Velcro on. That is going to seal all of this up nice. After the Velcro, these zippers will go on here. So this is how we put together the windows. I won't show you every single one of them, but we'll finish putting these together and we'll show you some of the other finishing touches that we put on these. So again, sandwiched between these two strips here, we will have this nylon webbing. And this will be to reinforce this area so that when we put our snaps in here, it doesn't rip through these strips. Okay, and here's our side drop. This is the 40 gauge Strata-Glass. There's no difference with the way that we build these windows from the polycarbonate 60 gauge windows. Things start to get different for the assembly process when we go down to this 30 gauge roll glass. So we'll show you what we do a little bit different with this stuff. But now that we have all of our front windows done, you can see Sue's got the zippers on them over here. So obviously this other side of the zipper will correspond to the other piece that zips to this one. And this right here is, we call it Ultra Seal. It's a rubber gasket that we sew to the inside of typically the front 3 windows on an enclosure we will always do. And then other areas as needed, we will do it. So I'll bring you out here into the garage and show you an example of why we do some of these things. Okay, just finished helping a customer over the phone. So now I will just show you what I was talking about before. So this is our front drop. And as you can see, this is where we had the Velcro. So we have a little bit bigger of a strip on the center window so that it overlaps the 2 sides. Does the same thing on this side. And our idea is that when you're on plane or even just sitting at the dock, if water's splashing up and hitting you while you're driving forward, gravity will push it to the sides and you won't have water leaking through your zippers. This down here is where we put the rubber gasket, which we call Ultra Seal. We also have a V Seal, Extreme Seal. There's different kinds of seals for different kinds of applications. The idea is that this will stop water from running up underneath of the canvas. So we will always put that along the front 3 windows. And then on this boat, we actually put some back here along the arch where these snaps are at, so that water can't get underneath there. Don't mind all the Christmas lights on this boat. We actually just had a Christmas parade and used this boat as our float, so still got to clean all that off. But those are some of the other finishing touches we add to our enclosures. These windows, I'll go on the inside and show you. These side windows, we have horseshoe roll-up windows in. These we make a number of different ways. Sometimes they roll up, sometimes the customer wants them to roll down. It's all about what you want, you know, what you think works best. There is no perfectly right or wrong in this industry. Okay, so another thing I wanted to show you was one of our backdrops in this boat. I just put it up. How this piece is held up by a piece of Casa track on the arch, and then a piece of the track sewn onto the top of this window. One way we seal up the inside nice, around this doorway, we add a flap. So otherwise this would obviously be able to let a lot of bugs and water, the elements in. So we just add this to prevent a lot of that. Another option we have on our enclosures is a screen option. So this window can unzip, and then you roll all this up and just keep it in a little roll down at the bottom. But now if all of our windows like that, we get a lot of breeze coming in and we're still protected from a lot of the elements outside. This boat has privacy curtains. So we build these a number of different ways. These were made, I'd say, are like our top of the line way, where they're actually removable. Sometimes we make them to where they are just an extra piece of material on the outside of the, well, actually I should say in between the screen and glass, just like this is still, but it wouldn't be able to be removed. It would just roll down and sit down at the bottom, just like this window is. So now, if we wanted to spend the night on the boat, or if we just had some guests over and we wanted a little bit of privacy, we zip this in and you can't see him back here. Some customers will make extra, will have us make extra privacy panels for the entire enclosure if they spend a lot of weekends on the boat. But typically this is with all of the add-ons, you know, like this is nice glass, screen option, privacy flap. There are lots of add-ons and things. We try not to give the customer too many options, but even with the options we have now, we still, you could say we have too many options, but it's okay. We like to give the customer what they want. So we'll show you how we put together some of the 30 gauge roll glass windows. And then after that, I think we'll wrap this video up until we install this enclosure that we're building. So it'll probably be a few weeks until we do that. We got a lot of things coming up this month. At the end of the month, we have the MFA conference in St. Pete Beach, Florida. Hope to see you all there. Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to put together our 30 gauge windows. So the whole backdrop, the whole rear enclosure for the job we're currently working on. We'll show you what's just a little bit different for the assembly on these compared to the upgraded windows. So you can see, obviously, it's still a nice glass, but a lot thinner, and this stuff is, you're able to roll it. So that's another reason that it's sought after for the back. If you want to be able to roll all your canvas up and have it strapped up and hanging from the top and not have to take all of the canvas down every time you want to just let some air in or just walk around it, this is really nice, and it's the most affordable too. So let's get started on these. Okay, so Steve's got these put together, but just not bound yet. And this is what we do differently with the 30 gauge roll glass. So the glass comes all the way out to the edge of the panel, and this strip is laid on, like, fully on the glass. So both sides of this strip are sewn onto the glass. Now the reason we do that different with this Macrolon and the thicker glass is obviously when we start putting our Velcro on and our zipper, if this was all glass in here, there's just so much material for our sewing machine and our sewers to deal with, and that would just, it wouldn't be as easy, and it'd be tough on our machines. So we only have this 1/2 inch right here along the outside that this window sews to. That's all we do differently, and then this still gets webbing around the edges for our fasteners. This will get bound, and then our zippers on it, and it'll be done. So that's a little bit on how we build our enclosures. Thank you everybody for watching. The next video we put out is going to be on the gator step flooring. I don't know when it's going to be in, so that's the reason we're going to do that separately. But until then, hope you guys all have a good day, and thanks for watching.